there you are, YouTube. We are at the movie theater. It is the weekend, but we are not here to see the most fresh film, the newest film to hit. I'm an older person. I'm not older, but I do have gray in my beard. I do have kids, so I don't get out to the theater as much as I used to, but what we are here to see is Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which has been out for probably over a month, so I'm only just now getting to this, but I'm really excited to see it. I saw the first two in theater, and I'm finally gonna see the third one. I know I'm very late on this, but I'm very hyped to see it. Love those first two. They're about the only thing left I care about in the MCU, so I'm excited to see how this wraps up. Will it wrap up? Is this just the James Gunn wrap up? Will the characters continue? I'm about to find out. So let's get in there to the AMC. Well, here, let me show you the AMC.
And there it is.
It's the beginning of the end. It's the sum of everything. Okay, I'm back home. First, I feel like I got to talk about the theater experience because it's like, I don't know, movie theaters, AMC right now, anyway, they are not making a good case for themselves to keep theaters open. I walked into, so you like have to reserve your seat nowadays, right? You can't just walk in and sit wherever you want. They're like, where do you want to sit? So you pick your seat. I picked front center, near the front. You know, they got the super front and then they got, you know, the normal front. So I was in normal front and I walk in place. If I have a picture, I'll put it in here. But I did take a picture, but I don't know if it's too dark or not. I'll try and lighten it up. But anyway, the place is covered in my area, my seat, covered in popcorn, popcorn buckets, popcorn spilled everywhere. There's what do you call them? Cups. I was trying to say bottles, cups of pop. It was just a giant mess. So I was like, oh shoot, can't sit there. But I have to because it's reserved seating. So I go to the hallways, I walk up and down them. I'm not seeing a single usher at all. And then somebody walks out of this like closet or something that works there at AMC. And I was like, oh, hey, Theater 2 needs an usher really bad. Big mess in there. And he's like, all right. And then I watch him like walk backstage to some other, you know, employees only place. And then I'm like, all right, he'll be in here. And, you know, after I go back to the auditorium and nobody's showing up, and I'm like, okay, this is weird. It's getting close to start. We have like 2 minutes left. So I walked back out there. I was looking for somebody else. Didn't see anybody. So I did see down on the other end, and I'm pacing back and forth here looking for people. I did see a broom and the dustpan. Thank you. The dustpan and a broom, and I just am like, well, I guess I'll just do this myself. I used to be an usher, so I just grabbed those, was dragging them across the entire end because I was on the complete end and other side. And I see the officer they have on duty, so you know people aren't sneaking in and stuff like that. And he's like looking at me, and he's like, anything I can help you with? And I was like, they not have any ushers working or anything like that? And he's like, oh, I don't know, this is my first time at this place. I'd assume they would. And I said, and he's like, what do you need? And I said, Theater 2 is a complete mess in the seat that I reserved, so I can't sit there. And he's like, oh, okay, well, you're fine. You can go ahead. And so he just let me walk with this broom and dustpan to go clean it myself. And I was like, what is this? This is so weird. So I cleaned it up. There are other people in there, and I'm in my Monster Squad outfit, and I'm sweeping this place in front of everybody. I'm sure they probably thought I was somebody off duty or something. And I took pictures of everything before and after, and I don't know. I was wondering, what do these people think is going on right here, where this normal guy who isn't in uniform is cleaning this place. So I cleaned up my area, swept it up, threw the stuff away, and yeah, it felt like I was, back in 2004, summer of 2004, when I worked at GKC Theaters, and was cleaning up rooms, cleaning up Spider-Man 2. This time I was cleaning up Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But it was I don't know, that was just strange. And nobody ever came in. Nobody ever did. Like during the movie, no usher came in to check, like, oh, they just completely ignored me. The person who worked there completely ignored me. The cop, he didn't send anybody in or mention it to anybody. I know he has other things he's supposed to focus on. But AMC, what's going on? I need to send you a bill so you can send me a check for my services. It was kind of fun to go back and be an usher again, but my goodness, what the heck? So I was pretty angry at the beginning of the movie. But I don't think that spoiled the movie or anything, because it did kind of go away. Because I was going to, talk to the manager and everything afterwards. But afterwards, after the movie ended, I was like, I'm in a good mood. Plus, it's after 10. I don't want to keep thinking about this, so I'm just going to go home. And maybe I'll just call him tomorrow and be like, hey, where's my hour of minimum wage, or whatever it is. Or free tickets, man. I don't know. Free popcorn. My hand was in popcorn and pop cups and who knows what. I don't know. I was just like, I can't believe this is the theater experience. It's nothing beautiful or majestic anymore. You are not making the case to keep your place open, or for me to return. I'm gonna go back to Phoenix Theaters. The timing just didn't mention or line up right, but yeah, Phoenix Theaters I guess is now gonna be my go-to. AMC, you mess up all the time. Prove to me you won't mess up. I don't know. Do something. Let me work there. Seriously, you make me the full-time manager. I will fix the place. I don't. So it's just or make me the usher manager. When I was working in a theater, there was an usher manager. There should be one at this place. There should be an usher at this place. Anyway, sorry. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It was good. I'm trying to think. I don't think it was the most fun of the three. I think it was probably the least fun of the three. This was a much more emotional movie, a much more dramatic movie. So we are getting into the review now. Enough about how much AMC sucked tonight. But much more dramatic. We did still have some laughs. There was still some humor there. But I would say this is the least out of the three. I'm late to seeing this, so I'm sure everybody already knows. But I think that just because it's the least funny, the least maybe enjoyable, I think it is one of the better ones. And when you look at the three films, we have this fantastic trilogy that happened. I mean, that is great. I think I saw somebody say it's too bad these movies are in the MCU, because it's like the MCU sort of weighs them down, because we have three great films here, and they do feel like standalone films somewhat, but you do have to know some of the other movies to know what's going on, specifically in this one. So that is too bad, but the three of them, we do have this great trilogy that's unfortunately tied to the rest of the MCU, and I really like seeing all the things that these characters went through, how they grew. We did see some past also, some flashbacks, and those are very difficult to watch. involving animals. I did get misty-eyed a few times. I think everybody knows I'm a little quick to cry, especially with animals. So, you know, my eyes were very watery during this movie. I don't think anything ever dropped, but it was definitely an emotional ride. But yeah, I did like the movie, and I don't think the music choices were as good. I think the first two films had much better soundtracks, but I think that end song, all of that was really good. I really liked how everybody sort of found their purpose. There's that Adam Warlock guy. I feel like he's probably James Gunn, right? Did James Gunn sort of develop that character and what happened to him and everything for just kind of like self-reflection in a way? You know, he needed to learn that everybody he was needing and given a second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance. And you know, he was kind of dumb and doing things that you know, he's just like moron a moron type. And it kind of makes me think of like James Gunn's past tweets, those jokes he was making, and how they were, you know, off-putting, and a lot of people didn't, you know, I mean, they were dug up all years later, and people had an issue with it. I know it was all like fabricated and everything, but like, you know, false outrage and all that, but you know, he was then fired from Disney, and then they ended up giving him a second chance. And, you know, he made some foolish jokes, but then, and then was fired, but then they gave him a second chance. And I feel like Adam Warlock's character was sort of that way a little bit. So it kind of made me wonder if he was sort of like a stand-in for James Gunn himself. Mantis, really like her. Drax was nice. He wasn't laughing as much. I wonder, because I remember a lot of the criticism of the second one was he laughs way too often. He didn't do that laughing thing as much. We didn't hear him as much. I think maybe the relationship between Rocket and Groot maybe should have been a little bit stronger, because when we had, obviously they were best buds, but then when we had Baby Groot, it was almost as if Rocket was his father. And I think it would have been nice if their relationship was maybe a little bit more in the focus. Instead, it was sort of Quill and Rocket. But I would have liked to have seen a little bit more emotion and fear in Groot in terms of like what Rocket was going through in the movie. Yeah, Nebula was good. Gamora was good, but there, you know, it's a little frustrating, and obviously it's frustrating for Quill that she doesn't remember him. But yeah, I thought it was good. I like that it was about, it wasn't like necessarily world domination, and they kind of pointed to that, but it was more about saving a friend, just saving a friend. And I thought that was nice. It made it feel a little bit more contained. The villain was great. He was very bad. There was some great tangible quality to this movie. There was a fight that was going on while Beastie Boys were playing No Sleep Till Brooklyn, and it felt, there was CG there obviously, but something about it just felt so tangible and real. The way it was filmed was so good. It was so strong. I just love the choreography of not only the characters and the way in which they were moving, but also in which the ways that the camera was moving. All of that was so good. I was just like, wow, this looks great. This looks amazing. Yeah, that was just a really strong moment right there with, I don't know, that battle, that mini battle that was happening. But yeah, overall, it was good. I don't know where we're gonna go here. I did stay after credits, and it does seem like, you know, Star-Lord is coming back. I guess that's kind of a spoiler there, maybe. Spoiler here, though, you know, when it gets into, yeah, I don't know. I think I was expecting one of them to die, and none of them did. That was kind of surprising. I thought maybe one would, but it never really felt like they were bringing anybody to the point to where they would die and stay dead, you know? Like, as I just kind of went in assuming Gamora would again, or no, not Nebula, or Drax. I thought maybe Drax would. die, but as I was watching, it was like, I don't know, they're not really posturing him up in a way for that, something like that to happen. But yeah, when it comes to the MCU, these are the characters I care about most, so who knows where we will be in the future with them. I like the original team. It's also cool to see the way the team has evolved. All that's really cool too. But yeah, good movie, great trilogy. I don't know where I'm going to be though with the rest of the MCU until the X-Men come in. So I guess I just got to wait for Deadpool, and then I'll be all in again, unless they make some casting decisions I don't like. Anyway, here we go. Thank you so much for watching. It's a shame that AMC isn't showing that theaters are a great place to be, a great, nice place to spend your money or your time for a nice night at the movies. That was too bad. But the movie itself, very good. Anyway, I've had to talk to them before. I remember, when did I do that? I think it was for Call Me By Your Name. A very emotional ending. I am just bawling at the end of that movie. And the credits start while there's still imagery on screen. And me and my friends and wife were all crying. And then the ushers come barging in while we are watching this movie. Sure, there are names popping up on screen, but we're still watching Timothée Chalamet at the end. And we're just in tears, and then here come the loud ushers, and I had to call them, and I'm like, hey, with this movie specifically, hold off before you come in. I mean, I was an emotional wreck. We all were, the entire theater. And then here they come clanking down with their brooms, and then just staring at us, waiting for us to get up while Timothée Chalamet's up there, and we're all in tears. Actually, that's the third time. This is the third issue. I don't know. I don't go to this place very much because they're just not very good. But you know what is good? Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Sorry to bring that down. Anyway, thank you. So James Gunn, that was a good movie. That was a good movie, the good trilogy. I'm excited to see what you do for DC. I feel like there was one more thing I wanted to mention about the movie, but I don't know. If I remember, I'll put it in the description below or first pinned comment or something like that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and perhaps we'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.